Hi everybody and welcome back to Double Team. Today we are back from a 1 week break because we needed to catch up on all of the spring anime because there was a lot and there's a lot we're going to discuss today as well. So we will be discussing our final impressions of the spring season. There's 16 series that we're going to talk about. But as usual, I will put the timestamps in the description below so you can find back on what anime we're talking about.
Yeah. We're not discussing them in any particular order. We're
No.
just gonna chat, so.
Exactly. So, we figured we could start with Mayoiga, which wasn't really...
Thalia?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why I finished it, to be honest. I thought I would drop this one, but yeah, I ended up not doing so, because this series was... how should I say it? Disappointing, but
I'm not sure we should have started with this one. Everybody's just gonna exit the video at this point in time.
I think some people actually thought it was a good series, but...
I know, and that still blows my mind.
Yeah. I don't know.
Opinions are opinions.
I think it is like the kind of series that tries to give you mindfucks the whole time, but it doesn't really work. But for people who just started watching anime, I think they might be like, oh, this is interesting, you know? But we've seen it before, and that way we're like, we kind of know what to expect by now. So I think
for
that's
me,
kind of how it
it's
went.
I do understand, there's a section of the anime community that's super into this show that it's like, oh, it's all done on purpose, so it's supposed to be kind of a comedy parody of the thing and not exactly what's going on. And I'm like, I get why you say that, but I don't find it funny
the
same way as I don't find it interesting. So for me, it's a loss in both aspects. Whatever it's trying to do, I don't care if it's trying to be a comedy or if it's trying to be serious. Whichever the purpose of the show was, I missed it completely because I didn't enjoy it in any way.
Yep, same for me. The only thing that was funny to me was the turd. The the poop that a girl was holding, which was supposed to be her, what was it? I forgot what the monsters were called, but you know, the monsters in the forest that represented their fear and all of that.
Tanaka-kun.
Yeah, that. I was like, what the hell is that?
The best one is the silicone one.
Oh god.
Just going around. Giant boob.
Yeah, that was
most
weird.
Intimidating. Yeah, I think maybe years ago I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. Yeah. I'm not sure if I would ever have, but from the very beginning, the characters were so over the top in not an enjoyable way.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know. I just didn't feel it. It's just...
Same. Well, when
I didn't care for anybody. Everybody made me just go shut up, you're annoying. Stop. Why are you changing opinions every 5 seconds? And just... I don't know, it didn't flow well for me, it didn't make sense for me. So, in my opinion, it's not worth it at all. I wouldn't recommend this show in a million years to anybody.
Same, I wouldn't recommend it either, because it's that kind of show as well where I was like, oh, this character seems interesting. He's not too annoying, the best friend of the main character.
He was so annoying. He was the edgelord the entire time. It's like...
No,
friend,
I thought he was okay.
Attention to me.
I think he was okay in the first few episodes, but then it started going downwards, and I was like, oh my god, I just hate everyone now, because they make you think that it's oh, this is gonna be a quiet character, they're not gonna be annoying, and then everything turns when stupid monsters arrive and all of that.
See, from episode 1, I was like, there's no one in this show that I'm interested in, because all of them are just so... They're archetypes, which is fine, being an archetype in itself doesn't mean that it's a bad character, but they were archetypes in a way that, taken to the extreme, that I was like, okay, this is the asshole with the glasses that's gonna be bossy the entire time. This is Tokimeki, and she just has, boobs the entire show.
Yeah, they did that. But yeah.
I have the main character that's, for some reason gets super obsessed with the girl, from
that was
episode 1, and that's the thing. Like, there's nothing else going on underneath that I could even, like, get into.
Yeah.
And the supernatural part wasn't doing it for me. And then you have, like, that part in which they're like, oh, it's totally your fault. We don't know why, but it's totally your fault. Let's burn her. It's like, what? I don't know. They just jump to conclusions in such a weird way. I don't know. The balance was super off for me.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
We don't recommend this one. So that's the bottom line.
Like, neither of us likes it. We know that there's people out there who like it. So if you want to hear that part of the argument, talk to them.
Yep.
But waste of time.
Yeah, basically. Like I said, I don't even know why I finished it, because they did still kind of keep me interested, because I wanted to know how they would fuck it up. I think. I just kind of wanted to know how it would end.
Not to ruin our order completely right away.
Yeah.
There's a type of bad show that's bad in a way that's made to be enjoyable. Or it's unintentionally enjoyable. Yeah. For me, Mayoiga was neither. And I know that's super subjective, because people enjoy different things when it comes to the type of crappy shows they're watching. But Mayoiga for me was not enjoyable in a way that Big Order, which I watched. I can just, like, talk about it right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
That one was, like, super trashy, but it made me laugh because it was so trashy the entire time. Because it was ridiculous, but it wasn't exasperating. It's not like... Because it's not based around characters interacting with each other, I guess. So you don't get exasperated because neither of them is acting human and it doesn't make sense and the conversations are annoying. You just laugh because suddenly someone touches a girl's bunny ears and she gets instantly pregnant. And you're like, what? And there's jazz in the background, even though the main character is trying to be super edgy because he ruined the world. And you're like, this type of crap's good. There's like incest on episode 3, so it has everything. Everything you could have wanted mixed together in like a blob of awfulness with jazz in the background when it should be intense music. So
yeah,
it's perfect. If you want like the worst show but to be enjoyable, that's the one.
I've heard a lot of people who actually enjoyed Big Order for some reason, so...
There's some low points, like when they're actually trying to make a story out of it, it doesn't work because it's a really bad show. Yeah. But when they're not, then it is pretty perfect.
Alright. Okay, cool. So, next one that we both watched was a Joker game.
Yeah, what did you think about it? It doesn't strike me as your sort of show, if you know what I mean. Like, it's the type of show that I would look at and go like, Thalia enjoys this.
Like, because of the violence, you mean, and all of that?
No, because it's a very slow-paced, episodic, like, historical show, I guess. And that's not usually the type of thing that makes you go like, yeah, this is... exactly what I want in my life. So what do you think about it?
I actually liked it. I do have to say for like that, because it's episodic, I liked a lot of episodes more than the other ones. It depended on the character and how they would do the story. But in the whole thing, I actually enjoyed it. I was looking forward to it. I loved it when they did 2 parts, because I think that was done very well. And sometimes like the one episode wasn't enough for some characters for me. But I think it was really nice. I like the characters, although they all look alike and it's kind of confusing for me.
That is true.
It was still nice to see, because you know, it was obvious that they were all in the same agency, and it was cool to see how they kind of got together, how they got into it, or what their first mission was and all of that. So yeah, I think it was interesting. It was nice. So yeah.
I really, really liked it. Even though it's episodic, because I wasn't sure if they were gonna try to build something like bigger towards the end. And they didn't, but in a way you also have some elements that end up like, you start learning a little bit, not about the agents, which is what I thought we would be doing, but about the person who is in charge of the agency, Yuki. You get like parts of his story, and you're like, I don't know if this is his actual life or one of the identities he fabricated, and that for me was really cool. Like, I think I just looked at it and I assumed we would have like these agents that we will learn about. And as you said, like, I can't tell them apart after watching the show, because each of them was in a different point, and they don't really interact that much.
No.
Because, I mean, they're spies. You're not supposed to, like, flock in bands of, like, 10 spies so that everybody can tell there's still 10 spies going around. They're each doing their thing, which I think it's really thematically appropriate for a spy show. That's the thing. I think that both the tone, the soundtrack, which was really good as well,
true,
and just the pacing of the show might not have worked for something else, but for something that's just about spies in, like, between wars towards World War II, it was perfect. And we don't really see this type of show too much, which is the other thing, so I was really happy that we got something so different out of it.
Yeah, I agree, because in the beginning as well, when I was watching, I didn't expect an episodic kind of anime, because I thought it would be all of them together somehow, and, you know, talking about plans and all of that, but then going their separate ways, and then I don't know, I thought it would all come together somehow, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind at all either, because I think somehow it was better this way for me.
Yeah, I'm also happy that we got to see, like, the actual spies instead of, like, there's a lot of anime that does the training process towards being a certain thing, be it a spy or superhero or whatever.
Yeah.
And we just started at a point in which they are already spies. Like, they're not in training. It's not about their school life. It's about, like, real shit in the world, and not everything works out very well. Like that one, I didn't expect any of the missions to have a spy that died, and you have that one that dies, like, at the beginning of the episode in a train accident, and the whole thing is not about him, it's about, like, what he was doing while he was alive. And, like, I don't know, it's super intriguing, and I really like the pacing of it and the writing. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, the pacing was
so well
really
balanced.
Nice. Yeah, yep, I agree. Okay.
I guess if you don't like episodic shows, don't watch this one.
Yeah.
That's the only caveat that I, like, add to it.
Yep. But otherwise, I would recommend it if you like some detective shows, because there's not a lot of detective shows that are done right, or, like, that aren't confusing or all that stuff, and this one was thought out very well, and I think all of the stories were interesting in their own way, so that's that for Joker Game. So next up is Boku no Hero Academia, which was pretty hyped this season for a good reason.
Yes.
So I think we mentioned this before in our first impressions. I have read the manga, not all of it, but part of it.
I haven't.
And like, there's a second season announced, which is a really good
yes.
thing.
It really needs more.
Yeah.
Like, I need more.
Everyone needs more Boku no Hero. It's just, it's such a nice show.
Because now we know, like, there are bad guys that are, like, an actual thing besides, like, a daily life.
Exactly. It's not like a high school superhero thing anymore. It's more than that, which is really cool. And I just love All Might so much. He's just so cool. His English is amazing.
He's probably, I'm not gonna say the only one, because I'm sure it has happened before, but it's one of the few characters that have that, I say random English bullshit thing that I actually appreciate, because usually it drives me nuts.
True. He doesn't do it that much, though, so I guess it's okay.
And he does it, like, he does it ironically, I guess. Like, his character is built around this idea that he's, like, I don't know, he's stereotypical, like, kind of more American type of superhero.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do it all the time. It's not like it's there so that you remember that, he's, like, probably American or something like that. It's just when he gets really excited and it's really bad English. Like, oh my goodness! Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. That was great. But yeah, I think for me, All Might is definitely my favorite character because, like, you know, like Deku, or I always forget Midoriya. No, is it that? I think so. I always think Deku because his rival calls him Deku the whole time.
Yeah, but it's Midoriya.
Yeah, so like I like him, but it's more like your typical character that is still growing up and trying to get powers and know how to work with it and all of that stuff. So it's like I've seen that before, so it's not that original, but still he's still a good character because I love how he and All Might get along and their connection is really nice. I just love how All Might cares about all of the students and especially about Midoriya. It's really nice to see. And also the rival is really cool as well. He's so badass, but you know he has something like hidden that he does really care.
Yeah, I have some problems with his character progression, I must say. It's like... Because at the very beginning, I was like, okay, they have this rivalry thing going on. And I was fine with that. And then for a few episodes, he's like an absolute asshole. Yeah. Like... just goes really ham on it, and I was like, okay, this is a little bit too much, because
he doesn't deserve it. I mean,
no,
obviously.
And I think it was over a certain limit in which you can say, oh, this is kids being rivals thing, to this is actually, like, he's a bully. And, like, he's really mean, and he's trying to actually hurt him real bad. Yeah. And then, like, after that showdown thing, and he kind of realizes that maybe now they have to look at things differently, and, like, I don't know. He has this sort of transformation, and it's not like he's suddenly a super nice person, but at the same time, it's like he lost, therefore he rethink his whole life, and you're like, maybe that was a little bit too sudden. Yeah. So yeah, I have some problems with that character progression, but I do really like his character design, his power, all of that. Yeah. In general, I really like the character designs and the powers and how they did all of that.
Me too. And it's very original. I like it.
Yeah, I agree that Deku is, or Midoriya, whatever, is very like your typical main character, I guess, for a shonen, but at the same time, he starts in a different place, and I really like the first couple episodes were really, really harsh on me. Yeah. Because usually you have, like, the typical is a shonen protagonist that's still, like, learning, but he's also super OP in secret. And Midoriya is like, nope, I have no powers. Like, I've been dealing with this all my life, and my dreams are over, and everything is sad. And you're like, oh my god.
I know.
This is too real.
I felt so bad for him the first few episodes. I still feel bad for him, because whenever he wants to, like, defend All Might, he cries, and he's like, no! Like, he's my hero. I don't want to happen anything to happen to him. So
he's really precious, and I'm really happy that they made him relatable through him not being like super hardcore. Yeah, like he is both a really nice person, but he's also like he has had a rough time in a world that has like all of these powers, and he's the one that's different. Usually it's the other way around. Like, if you look at Bleach or something like that, they're different because they have powers in a world with normal people.
Yeah, true.
So they have to hide it. But for him, it was like he was always to the side of his society because he didn't have a power. Yeah. And even with his mother is so nice. She's like top mom.
Yeah. She's cool.
So yeah, I liked it way more than I thought I would like it.
I mean, I knew I would like it, but I only read until like the half of the half of the first season, so I didn't know too much about like the bad guys and all that stuff. So when I saw that,
cool. You got to see that in the anime.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is interesting, because I mean, I expected it in a way, but in another way, I didn't. Like, the villains look really cool. I really like the main guy. He
hands,
so, hands. He looks so cool, and there's so much more that we still need to know. So I'm just really glad we're gonna get a second season, because we really need it.
I really like the fact that they added like a lot of small details that make them very unique as well. Like the fact that when he starts going like crazy, he starts like scratching his like
yeah, I know. Yep. So yeah, I guess if you like shonen and some comedy, because there's some good comedy in this as well sometimes with all of the characters, just check out Boku no Hero Academia. Like, you have nothing to lose if you like shonen, to be honest. So
yeah, it's a really, at least based on this season, it's a really good one. Yeah. I would be happy if this was to become one of the long-running shonen. I think.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind at all. Okay, so next up is Bungou Stray Dogs that we both finished. It will also have a second season.
Yeah, I think it kind of needs one.
Yeah, it definitely needs one. Although they still like wrapped up some stuff nicely, we still need to know a lot about some characters and
like, there's a lot.
For the main thing that I was kind of wondering about was still the guy with the black hair that Dazai also trained back then, because there's like a rivalry between them, but still, like, how it ended, I'm not satisfied with how it ended. Yeah. Somehow. And I know he's gonna come back probably, because I have a feeling, because he seems like he will be one of the more main characters. He might appear more, I think. And I hope so, because I do think he's really interesting. I just kind of want to know more about him. Yeah. So... yeah.
I think, for me, like, the main thing that I want to know is how Dazai actually, like, relates to the Port Mafia, because we've been getting snippets and we know that he used to be a part of it, but, like, we don't know why he stopped being one. Like, we don't know any of that, and I'm really interested in that part. Bungo Stray Dogs, for me, was a really weird experience.
For me as well, because it went up and down sometimes for me.
Yeah, I think part of it was just the type of comedy was very hit or miss for me, and most of the times it was a miss. Yeah. I like the serious aspects of Bungo Stray Dogs a lot more than the comedy. But I don't know, there's something there. I don't know if it's the explanations or just character inconsistencies or just there's something, and I've been struggling to find it, that prevents me from being like, I love this show completely, and makes me go like, I like this show, it's a good show, but like I'm not invested or like super passionate about it. There's like some beats that make me feel like there's something there, and I don't know what it is, because if you look at the show, like if you look at a poster or read the synopsis or whatever, it looks like my type of show. So I've been, from the beginning, I was like, why am I not like all over this? Like, what's missing? And I can't tell. But
I have the same feeling. I also feel like there's something missing. Although I need to admit, like Asushi, I think the main guy, I think is really precious, and I love the kid, and I love how he got more development with the girl that they put in there, because the girl was really nice as well. I love her. I just like their relationship as well, and I like that they actually showed that, because I was waiting to see more of Atsushi and how he would, talk to people or save people. Yeah. And I thought that was really nice to see.
Maybe it is the characters. I don't know. Like, Atsushi for me is such, like, out of all of the characters, he's supposed to be like the main character, or one of the main characters. He's the one that I give zero shits about.
No, I had that at the beginning.
I do think he's precious. Like, at the very beginning, I was like, oh, like, poor thing, and he's cute, and he doesn't know he's a giant tiger. And stuff. But then, like, it didn't feel like he was an important character at all. He was just there a lot. It was like, go with this other dude on his mission, and then you would learn about the other dude, because you were still being introduced to, like, the other members of the agency, and he would just be there.
Yeah, that's why I liked him more at the end, because he had more fights and all of that stuff more towards the end. Yeah. So for me, that made it better. Also, like, I like Dazai, and I always forget the guy with the blonde hair with the glasses.
I don't remember his name, but I really like Dazai. Is one of my favorite characters. Same. But my very favorite character is the doctor chick. I don't
I
remember her
thought
name,
so.
but
Yeah,
she's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I like that fight in the train so much. That was so cool to see. That
Like
was nice.
I want to be as cool as she is as a doctor.
Yeah, she was really cool. They have some really nice characters in this show, which kind of
Yeah.
surprised me.
It's I don't know.
But the thing is they have to
It's
do more with
annoying.
them. So
Yeah.
it's probably that, and that's why we wouldn't probably mind to see a second season. And hopefully
Oh no, I'm gonna watch it. I want
Yeah.
to see what they do with it. I honestly don't even know what my expectations were before.
Yeah.
I
Same.
just looked at it and it looked like super cool and had all of the elements
Yeah.
that it seems like I usually enjoy. And then I was like, I enjoy it, but I don't like super enjoy it. So, I mean, it's good. Watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's good. It's just
I
not
will
fleshed
say
out.
that like the main villain looked a lot cooler to me
Mhm.
before you started knowing about his relationship
Yeah.
with Dazai for me.
True.
Because I like the dark aspects a lot more, and I usually like villains that don't instantly go into a senpai didn't notice me, therefore I need to be more evil kind of thing. Which is totally the thing that he has going on. He's always like, why is it this other dude and not me that Dazai is looking at?
True,
I need to
yeah.
kill more people.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind him going to the good side though and actually working with them later on, if that.
Yeah,
ever
we'll see what happens. But I do feel like I don't feel satisfied
Yeah, same
with the
thing.
show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we'll be getting more of it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so next up, it's my all-time favorite, Sakamoto desu ka?
If you didn't watch Thalia's video about the best guy of the season, you must.
Yeah.
Because it's all Sakamoto.
It's only him. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. This is my favorite of the season. Done. It's a good comedy, and I'm sad it's done. I'm so sad it's done.
I have that good feeling of this is exactly the number of episodes that it needs to be.
Yeah. It was
Even
a good
though,
ending.
The very end of the show wasn't very typical.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't expecting it to end like that. I was expecting like a very typical wrap up, like this was our school life and now it's the festival kind of wrap up, and not like he's going away.
Yeah.
So I was like, am I supposed to be sad? But I don't know, it's a comedy and he's weird and but ultimately it doesn't matter because I really liked the comedy in it.
Yeah, me too. They had some like a few weaker episodes, but still the weaker episodes still made me laugh and I still enjoyed it. So I mean, for me this is a perfect comedy to put on my favorite list. So
this one is like, remember how we discussed a few episodes back, I guess, that there are some shows that do this sort of comedy in like parts that maybe should be shorts.
Yeah.
I feel like Sakamoto would probably even be better as a short. But at the same time, it's one of those that also like doesn't tire me out by the end of the episode, so I'm also okay with it not being a short.
Yeah.
But you usually get like 1 or 2 or 3 like small stories throughout the episode.
Yep. I don't mind that because I'm kind of used to it from daily lives and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like even Gintama does it. It's always 2 or 3 stories in one.
Yeah, a lot of comedy shows do that, and it's just something that I always wonder if maybe they wouldn't benefit from actually being shorts if they're doing it. But in this case, I think it still works really well like that, and I really like the type of comedy. I really like the cast of characters. They work really well, but mostly like just the way that they committed to making Sakamoto like the coolest in the most ridiculous situations is what makes this show great.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just so silly. Like, I'm really happy that they went all the way with it, because a lot of the times, like, shows want to be quirky, but they don't go all the way.
Yeah.
Because it might be weird if they do. And in this case, they went all the way. It was slightly weird, but it was good.
It was so good.
I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Watch it. Everyone watch it.
It was kind of perfect.
Okay. Next one is Flying Witch. So you have not finished it this one?
No, I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it only. Because I basically was watching the other stuff and I kept pushing it back. And now I feel like maybe I will enjoy it more if I don't watch it weekly as well. So now I'll just watch it whenever.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it because I really liked what it was doing at the beginning. So tell me how it did towards in a full run.
I thought it was a good slice of life show. It was really chill. The comedy wasn't, I don't know, it was more like typical comedy that for me is okay, but I've seen it too many times that it wasn't that funny for me. But otherwise, I did really like the characters because they were very lovely. And since you've only watched 3 episodes, like the more episodes you watch, the more characters that you get to know as well. And I think the characters that got in the story are very interesting, and is what made the show better for me, because I thought it wasn't boring, but it was just like chill, It was chill to watch. You didn't really have to like remember much. You didn't really have to pay too much attention to it. So I think that was, the perfect anime to watch on a Sunday. But yeah, I'm satisfied with how it ended, and I thought it was just a really cute and nice story. So I think that's about it for me when it comes to Flying Witch.
Is it episodic throughout? Is it just like parts of our life in this village as like normal people, except there's magic once in a while?
Yeah, exactly. It's more like that, getting to know other witches, getting to know some spells, getting to know like some houses that are related to witches, all of that stuff. But it's all pretty episodic. There's not a big story at all to it. So
yeah, I like that. That's honestly, from watching the beginning of the show, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to stay that way because it's just a very relaxing and happy, like cute slice of life.
Yeah.
That in which it just happens that one of them is a witch, and sometimes there's like weird things like mandrakes in the side of the road. But like most of the time, maybe there's not magic; it's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I really like the fact that it wasn't like magic everywhere, explosion stuff. It's just a rural area in Japan in which life is not super fast and crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad it stayed that way. If I can't recommend it completely based on 3 episodes, but if it stays like that, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, if you like slice of life shows and the magical girl kind of, or witches aspect, I do recommend this one. So next one is Kumamiko, which was one of your favorites, I know.
At the beginning, yes.
Oh, okay.
I haven't finished it, so I can't really I heard people talk a little bit about the ending of the show and its anime original, and I don't know what went down, but apparently some people were like very dissatisfied, others were satisfied, others were confused. I will have to finish it. I want to know what happens. I like it. I still like its type of comedy. The more that I watch it, the more I can tell why a lot of people won't enjoy it, if that makes sense.
I guess,
it's a show that I like. It's not a show to marathon.
No.
I think you get really bored if you start marathoning it. Like, if I watch, now that I'm catching up, if I watch 2 episodes straight, at the end of the 2nd episode, I'm already, changing tabs on my computer.
Yeah, same. I could only watch 1 episode a week as well, or even sometimes I waited 2 weeks to watch an episode. Not because, it's kind of like you said, it kind of gets repetitive in a way.
I feel like it's also the pacing, because it's that type of comedy that takes a long time. It's not very quick gags.
Yeah.
You have Sakamoto, every couple of scenes you have a punchline or something happening.
Yeah.
Kumamiko, sometimes you have 5 minutes in which they're setting up the thing.
Yeah.
So that at the end there's a comedy thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it's it feels a lot slower. And I'm fine with it. I'm everything that I said in my first impression still applies. I still think it's a really different take on comedy. I still think like it's a really interesting juxtaposition between like very crazy and anime-like things and then suddenly very traditional Japanese elements like ceremonies and dances and stuff. But that being said, like a lot of people want to enjoy it. So it's one of those, try it and then follow your feelings. If you feel like that's not doing it for you, it's not going to change. It is what it is. Like,
I agree.
That's pretty much it. Did you finish it completely?
Yeah, I finished it. I actually liked the last 2 episodes because the last 2 episodes are like tied together, and I actually really liked it. I think it was some of the best episodes actually from the series, so I didn't mind the ending. I guess it for people who read the manga or whatever is probably because they have read the manga that they're not satisfied with it, because they probably know that it could be better or something like that. I don't know, but I think it was good. I enjoyed it. For me, actually, the more I watched the show, the more I liked it, because at the beginning I wasn't too sure about the comedy and all that, and for me it only got better. So I'm satisfied with how it ended, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to finish it to be able to evaluate it as a whole. As like a comedy, like pure comedy show, I still like Sakamoto better.
Yeah.
In the end, but I do really appreciate what Kuma Miko does differently, and like it still makes me smile like basically every episode.
Yeah.
I just can't watch it the same way that I watch Sakamoto. It's a different type of comedy, I guess.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So next up is one that you've watched and I didn't watch, which was Kabaneri.
Yeah, so Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, or Koutetsujou no Kabaneri. It's Attack on Titan with trains. Like,
So
I don't
I've
want
heard.
to. I know that everybody has been saying that, and it's kind of like a joke, but it's also not like a joke.
But it is like that.
It's
isn't it?
pretty much like that. If you want that, so the type of action, all of that is pretty similar. I was disappointed as the show went on, and I guess maybe I shouldn't have been, because it turns out, surprisingly, that it has some flaws that Attack on Titan has.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, like, I think the setting, like, is more interesting than Attack on Titan, but that's a matter of taste. Yeah. I like the idea of, like, steampunk trains with kind of zombies more, I think, even though I really like the Titan thing, but I think it's more versatile, and because they're on a train, they can change settings a lot more.
Yeah.
But it does have a lot of flaws in, like, building their characters. One of the prime examples would be Mune, which is the girl that you probably have seen her around, because she has a really dope character design. So in episode 1, when we talked, she just shows up. She's like 14. She's really young. She shows up and she's like super nonchalant, and at some point she just kicks ass, like really a lot.
Okay.
With hidden spikes in her geta shoes and stuff like that, and you're like, whoa, this is like really cool. And then she just was there the entire time, like.
She didn't get any development, or
she did. She got very, very inconsistent development. Okay. I guess it's not inconsistent. I guess it just went in a direction that's not what I wanted for her.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, she looked like she would be a really strong character, and then she became a plot device for the development of the main character very fast, because she would be like, she'd have a flashback from before, like from, she has this weird relationship with her adoptive brother, kind of evil master thing. Yeah. So, like, she would be very weak for a while, or, like, very doubtful, or make wrong choices. And then, like, she would go down, and at the end she would be like, I actually really like the people that I'm with right now, and it's, like, it's better, and maybe I don't have to be strong all of the time. and this would happen again and again. So for me, like, he completely ruined her character.
Yeah.
Because it was always like that. Like, that was her cycle, and that would always serve the purpose of the main character being stronger or being more committed to helping her, or like the very last arc is him saving her. So I don't know, she was presented as this very, I guess, strong and capable of dealing with her own shit character, because even though she was young, she had seen a lot already. And then she proceeded to being the weakling for the entire time. So for me, like, that was a really big flaw. And then, like, there's zero subtlety, but if you've watched Attack on Titan, you know there's, like, zero subtlety.
Yeah.
And if you can accept that, it's a very enjoyable show. I really enjoyed it. I did get disappointed with those aspects. I would never say it's like a 10 out of 10 show.
Yeah.
But it's really enjoyable. It's like watching one of those action Hollywood movies in which, like, you can kind of see the cracks in the plot, but if you just have popcorn and are just enjoying the action, that is perfectly fine, and that's what I feel like Kabaneri does. It generally looks pretty good, with a few hitches here and there, but generally looks really good.
Yeah.
So if that's, like, if you're looking for high-intensity action with, like, zombies and cool weapons that probably would never work in real life, that sort of stuff, it's good.
Okay.
It's not, like, mind-blowing amazing. That's all I'm saying. Like, I really enjoyed it. I don't want people to think that I'm criticizing Mune because I hated the show. I really didn't. I really enjoyed it week by week. But I just see the cracks. It's not... It's Araki doing Araki things and Sawano doing Sawano music, and you have to go into it knowing that that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I might check it out in the end, because
it doesn't have a lot of blood.
Yeah, that's
overall.
the thing.
There's a few, like, very tiny scenes that maybe would make you a little bit uncomfortable, but nothing like hats flying everywhere or anything like that.
That's why, because I did have heard good things about it from people who did like Attack on Titan as well. So I'm like, I really like Attack on Titan. So for me, it makes me want to watch this show to kind of compare it and kind of see how they did it.
If you can watch Attack on Titan, I think Attack on Titan is a lot of the times more violent, like, than this one is. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Next up is Nijiiro Days, which is one that I watched. It aired like 2 seasons ago because it only ended in spring, so it has 24 episodes. I didn't finish it yet, but it is one of my favorites of the season because comedy again. Not a surprise there. But for me, it was especially the characters in the show that really hooked me on it. It was a short show, but it was like 15 or 13 minutes an episode. So I don't see why they didn't make it 24 episodes. Because every time 24 minutes, because every time I watch it with Abby, we're like, no, why is it done? Like, you could put 10 more minutes with it, and then, you know, this section would be done of the show. But yeah, this show was just about 4 friends finding love and kind of making fun of each other while finding love. So it was a very simple concept, which I always like when it comes to comedy, and I think the show did it very well. And it's just, like I said, the characters that were, some were very cute, some were like very surprising. There was only one character that sometimes annoyed me because it was the typical tsundere that is always mad about stuff. But then again, I could kind of look over it, seeing the whole story come together. So I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cute and funny show, and I'm sad that I'm gonna have to end it. But yeah.
I'll probably... I remember when it started that you and I think Erin were both telling me that I should probably watch it, and I ended up never starting it, so I should probably get on that at some point. Especially if it's not a long form, because I can catch up to it faster.
Yeah, the episodes go by so fast, so it's really interesting. Because since there are like 4 main characters, it goes by fast, because, you know, they kind of focus on 2 or 1 in an episode every time. So yeah, I do recommend it if you like comedy and short shows, and like the romantic aspect is definitely there. So yeah.
What's the next one?
Oh, it said Big Order, but you discussed that already.
Yeah, I already
So-
said it. What if you can enjoy trashy shows for the heck of it, watch it because
Yeah.
it's great trash and there's all of it.
Next up, I wrote down 12 Sai. This title is way too long, but 12 Sai, I'll put it in the description below, which was a. Was it short? No, it wasn't a short show. It should have been a short show because I was kind of bored watching it throughout. I actually finished this one. This was just about two girls who are going through puberty and falling in love. It is definitely a show for teenagers, not for me. It is for younger
Isn't
people.
this one the one that you at the beginning you were really enjoying? Am I
No.
wrong? Okay.
That was probably another one, I think. But this one it's really cute, but it's not for my age. Like, it is too cute and it's too like focused on, I don't know, kids that are turning 13, 14 years old, something like that. So this is a perfect show if I ever have like a girl that turns like 13. I would show her this show because it's all about like falling in love and getting to know people in your class and how to get along with bullies and all of that stuff. So you can teach a lot out of it, which I think is cool for like younger people who are watching anime. So I just kind of wanted to experience that and see what kind of topics they would cover in this show, and I think they've done it very well. So yeah, that was kind of it for 12 Sai. I don't have too much to say about it, just that it wasn't good for my age, but it was still cute. The next one that I have written down was Kiznaiver that you would discuss, and Luluco.
Yeah. So I watched it. Thalia didn't. You didn't even start, right?
No, I wanted to start Kiznaiver because my best friend likes it a lot as well. So I'm like, I don't know if I will like it, but I might start it. So I'm not sure.
So Kiznaiver is a very hard to describe experience.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
First of all, I like what they are trying to do. It's very different and it touches on a lot of like interpersonal relationships of different types, not just romantic and not just friendship. It's different in the way that it does that. It does force, like, the main characters are forced together, but the interactions between the characters and the way that they develop are very interesting, even though the whole idea of like the sharing pain kind of things and the way that it all connects in the end, because I don't want to spoil it in case you end up watching it. I feel like the main problem is that concept that's fulcral at the very beginning, it's like this is why these people are brought together, is not really applied very well, and the payoff for it, like the way they explain it towards the end, is like like, okay, it's acceptable. It's not satisfying for me. It's just like, it's an excuse. Like, it could be any other thing. There are some episodes that are amazingly done. So it's totally worth watching if you like this sort of thing. It's very hard for me to tell if you're gonna like it or not, because it's just done very differently, in the whole way that the episodes are like paced or put together, or all of that is very different than typical shows, which, I mean, if you've watched Trigger shows, you should expect them to be different, because Trigger does its own thing. But yeah, I really liked some episodes. Other episodes, I was like, that's okay. And other episodes, I was like, I have no idea what I'm watching anymore. But overall, I liked it. It's, I don't know, like, in which place it ranks in my season, but I liked it. It was really interesting. It was compelling. I wanted to know more. I do feel like the very end of the show was not satisfying enough, but the ship that I was shipping seems to be sailing, so that's okay. I can live with that. Yeah, some episodes hit me like really hard. There's like a couple episodes that made me sob massive amounts. So yeah, they do touch on some pretty heavy stuff,
Okay.
which you wouldn't expect because the general tone of the show is kind of silly.
Oh, okay.
And then suddenly you have like, if you think about it, some things are like really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some moments, just be prepared. There are
Okay.
some moments in the show, and everybody else watching, because I know you don't cry watching anime.
Yeah.
Like there are some instances that are pretty hard,
Okay.
but generally it's pretty lightheaded, or it seems to be, and it's kind of fun. So I don't know how to sell this show because it's such a different show. Like it doesn't follow a formula that we're used to in anime that I can just tell you, oh, it's this sort of show. So
That's good. I think that's interesting. So
it's different. So
Yeah.
I would at least recommend it for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's how I ended up feeling about the show. I think overall I like it.
Okay.
It was so hard for me to decide. Like I ended the show. I was like, do I like Kiznaiver? What are my feelings? So yeah, I like Kiznaiver. I don't like all of the characters. I think the main character is probably part of the problem for me. Because like the arcs that I really like and the episodes that really touch me generally are related to characters that are not the main character.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Alright. So what did you think of Space Patrol?
Yeah, Space Patrol Luluco is the other
Yeah.
trigger show, and it's a short, and it's a comedy parody short.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I didn't watch Kill la Kill, but I would imagine that if you have a Kill la Kill kind of thing in a short, that would be Luluco.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like super like, out
Over
of
the
the blue,
top.
crazy, over the top,
Yeah.
all of that. Sometimes it makes absolutely no sense, but it's fine. It's drawn in a very like minimalistic and kind of rough way. Like if you catch some print screens of some parts of the show, you'd be like, "Oh, this looks awful," but in that trigger way, the same that they do with what's that one? The one with the like the hell police stuff.
Oh,
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name, and I know it's
Is
really
it Gurren
obvious.
Lagann?
No. One of their shorts as well.
Oh.
The one with like a skeleton that's a cop. Or
Oh, right. Yeah, I have no idea what that's called.
It's like a very obvious literal name, and I'm gonna look really stupid when I look it up. But yeah, it's more like that. It's not the type of comedy that it's like that has you laughing. I guess
It's more like what the fuck? What is
yeah,
this?
it's more that
Yeah.
this is really weird, and I kind of want to watch the rest of it, but this is also like what?
Yeah, I watched the first episode and I dropped it because I didn't
Yeah.
like it at all.
Yeah, it stays with that tone. I personally liked it, but it's like I don't think I would ever rewatch it. It's an interesting experience.
Yeah.
It has some crossovers with other trigger stuff, as they usually do.
Yeah.
They have Little Witch Academia like crossover at some point, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice. But it's very typical, like Trigger doing their own thing. So
Okay. Next one is Tanaka-kun. So
I finished it. So this is all for you. I watched the first 4 episodes, something like.
I love this show. I loved it from the
figured.
beginning. Like, I watched the first episode with you and I was laughing the whole time. And for me, it was the same for all of the other episodes.
Yeah.
Of course, they had, just like Sakamoto, they had some episodes that were less good than the other ones for me.
Yep.
But still, I think it was really nice. And I just laughed my ass off at a few episodes because I do love Tanaka-kun and his best friend so much together. I think they're a perfect couple. I ship them so much. Like everyone probably does, but not only that, also the other characters that got into the show were very interesting to me, and I really like how Tanaka-kun actually got along with them. So I think it was interesting to see another side of Tanaka, just seeing him actually making friends and actually seeing people who want to be friends with him, although he is so lazy. So, yeah. He doesn't change, you know. I mean, he just stays the same the whole time. And the ending was also, like, something that I expected. It's not like... It doesn't feel like it will ever end, you know? Like, he's just gonna stay the same, everyone's gonna stay the same, and everyone's just gonna be friends, and that's about it. So this show is very episodic with all of the stuff that they go through, but it's just very funny. So I just really like the comedy aspects for this one, and the animation is something that I really enjoyed for this one as well.
Yeah, that for sure. I'm gonna be honest, like, out of the shows that I have to finish, which is Miko, this one, and Flying Witch, this is the one that I'm like, should I just drop it?
I can see why, because it's the same. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I watched the first episode and I was like, I get it, and I feel like I don't need more of that in my life.
Yeah.
So I might end up just not finishing it. It's cute, but I don't know. It's just, there's nothing else there.
Yeah.
Going on, you know?
I think if I wouldn't like Tanaka-kun so much, I probably wouldn't have finished it either, although the comedy was good. So for me, it's really because I like Tanaka and his friend a lot that I kept watching.
Yeah, I might try to, like, watch one more episode and see if I'm in a place right now that I would be like, oh, now I enjoy it a little bit more. I'm more chill and I can just watch it. Yeah. But probably I'll not finish this one, which is kind of sad because it does look really nice. And like, it's not like I can bash it and say, oh no, this show is awful, everybody should drop it. No, it's like it's just doing that thing that's setting out to be. It's like, we're gonna make a show about a guy that's always sleepy, so it's not gonna be very fast and it's not gonna be like very crazy. It's just, that's what they do. So, like, I have absolutely zero complaints about the show as, like, a show, except for maybe that it would work better in short form. Yeah, for me personally.
For me too.
But I might not go back to it.
Yeah, I understand.
What else?
Next up is Bakuon, which was like the biker girls kind of show.
Oh, I heard that got really like grinding on bikes style at some point.
It did. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything like ecchi at all, but then it kind of turned into like, oh my god, I love this bike so much. You love this bike too much. And I'm like, no, what the fuck is this? But then again, it made me laugh so much that I loved it. So I was like, I don't mind about this, because these girls, how they act is just insane already, and just putting that into it as well. It could have easily been an ecchi show to begin with. So I'm like, I don't mind at all how it kind of turned.
I just found it funny that it wasn't a thing that was there from the beginning.
Yeah, it was so random.
Like, if you told me at the beginning that it was like, these girls are really into bikes and sometimes it's gonna be kind of sexy, I was like, okay, like, I mean, they're riding the bikes, it makes sense. But like, at the beginning, everybody was like, oh, this is so cute, and then suddenly it was like full-on bike action.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was. I think, oh man, I don't know, this show was very interesting. I thought I would drop it, to be honest, but I just kept watching. I just was so interested in the characters because they were so crazy about it. And each of them were very different from each other as well, because, you know, one liked this more than the other when it came to bikes and all that stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. I didn't think I would ever finish a show like this, but yeah, I would say it's pretty original in a way, like how they did the whole thing. Even the ending was just like completely random as well. You know, you have Jesus riding a bike and all that stuff, and I'm like, what? Yeah, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of like random stuff coming in, which made me laugh a lot. So I think the comedy that just randomly got thrown into it really made me laugh, because it got over the top so fast. So yeah, that is Bakuon for me. I recommend it if you do like those crazy things.
I don't know what to say about that, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should look up some clips on YouTube and you will know
Oh,
enough.
I watched the bike clip. That's what
Oh.
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But the next show I'm gonna talk about is also kind of like, okay, Super Lovers. So it's like I don't even want to talk about it because it's weird. You know, it's Shounen Ai, so of course, you know.
Did it get? I'll ask the typical Shonen Ai / yaoi question. Did it get super weird, or was it like a normal relationship thing?
No, it's not a normal relationship because it's two brothers. So I'm not like, or not brothers. They're not. I don't know. It's not. They're not really brothers, but you know, they see each other as brothers, and the kid is younger than him, and you know, it's yeah.
If you see each other as brothers, then don't make out and don't do that show. Jeez.
There's more. The main guy has two other brothers that are very homosexual, so. But yeah.
You know, but like, remember when around the time of Oran, in which you have two twins that are kind of like.
Well, they were twins too in the show.
There. But it's ironical. Like, it's not like they're actually banging in secret. Yeah. It's like, that's the demographic that they're trying to hit with their, like, club.
But
so they're like, oh, the chicks dig this. But they're actually, like, not like that at all.
That's the thing, because that's, like, Uran, it's more comedy. Fine. But in Super Lovers, like, I'm at the point, I didn't finish the show, by the way. But,
don't do that unironically.
But I don't know. I'm watching it with Abby. I don't even think we will finish it because I don't really want to know how it will end. There's even a second season announced for Super Lovers, which I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyways,
Thalia,
the beginning.
We live in a world that has like 3 seasons of Junjo Romantica.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Super Lovers.
None of us is bashing on yaoi or shonen.
No.
It's just anyway. By the way, I think we've had an episode about this a long time ago.
I think
We're totally fine with that. We'd rather it didn't get like weird or rapey.
Yeah, exactly. And no like family related things.
Yeah.
So
if you could like put the incest aside, and the rapiness aside, in all of that, we'll be fine.
Exactly, because like this season, I finished Doukyuusei. Like the movie that came out.
I really want to watch it.
It was so good. Like there's no rapey scenes. There's no like it's just two guys being in love. Yeah,
and I really want to watch it.
It was really cute, and it does have its serious moments where there's always gonna be moments that Shonen Ai or yaoi where you're like, what is this guy doing? Because obviously it's mostly about guys who don't know what to do yet, going in through a relationship that they've never been to before. But Doukyuusei did it so good, but then...
If you do it like that, that's fine, because if you watch, like, shoujo or normal romance, most of the time people are fucking up real bad. And you're like, why are you doing that? That's really stupid.
But that's good, because they need to make mistakes to, like, actually...
Yeah, that part is fine.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Super Lovers was just weird. I'm not gonna watch more of it. I know a lot of people who actually liked it, and that's fine for you. I mean, I can see if you like that kind of stuff, why not?
I was gonna say, I think Super Lovers is one of those things that, like, the people who like that sort of sub-genre, I guess, will watch it, and they know they will like it, and that's fine. Like, you don't... It's not one of those shows that needs a recommendation, because it's there to cater to those people that know that their show is there for that. So, yeah. Some people will really love it. That's...
Yeah. So,
I will definitely not watch it. But I will watch Doukyuusei, because I really want to watch that one.
It's so good. Anyways, I'll see if I finish Super Lovers, because I've heard people saying that it gets okay later on, but I don't know. I don't have too much faith in it. Anyways, that's enough about Super Lovers.
Anything else?
Yeah, the last one is Shounen Maid. Which I think a lot of people thought this would be a yaoi for some reason. It's not, because it is like a guy cleaning up in his uncle's house, but the uncle is younger than you would see a normal uncle. I would say he's like 27, 28, something like that, and the kid's like 12 or something like that. So but there's no...
Yeah, I can see why people would be like, because it sounds really fishy.
Yeah, and it's called Shounen Maid, so I'm like, I don't know. But when I just read synopsis and looked at the tags, and it didn't say anything about Shonen Ai and all of that, and it's not at all. It is a good comedy show that I actually enjoyed. There's actually a lot of development for the main character as well, and there's a story in it, so it's not episodic, so I was surprised about that. Also, the relationship between the uncle and, you know, the shonen maid himself, it's not awkward at all. They actually get along very well, and it's just a typical family kind of relationship that they have, because they tease each other the whole time, but it's not in a sexual way that people will probably think it will be. So,
that's good.
yeah, that's good, because I think a lot of people skipped it because of that, because people thought it would be awkward, but it's not awkward at all.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Yeah. So yeah, that is my conclusion for Shonen Maid. I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was very lovely.
Okay, so I guess it's time to wrap up, right? So, like, overall, was it a good season, a bad season, an okay season?
I think it was a good season. We had a few good ones.
I'd say okay. There aren't that many shows that I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, same. But there was a lot for me that kind of surprised me, like Shonen Maid and Bakuon, that I didn't expect me to, and Joker Game, that I didn't expect myself to actually like. So
I would say, like, I think it's a really solid season in terms of that there's a lot of very different genres.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like this is the season, like right now
sports.
there's three or four sports.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, which is fine. I love sports anime. That's totally okay. But this season you had like shonen, you had romance, you had a bunch of comedy, which usually doesn't really happen that. You had seinen, like Joker Game. You had like plenty of different things. So I think in that sense, it was a pretty good season.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it was a good season. We told you what we recommend and what we don't, so I think that's pretty clear. Next week we're gonna discuss our first impressions of the new season. So there's again a lot that we will be watching, so you know.
So psyched for that.
I still need to watch so much, but yeah, we're gonna discuss the first episode.
I started most of it.
Yeah.
The first like one or two depending, because by next week some shows will have the second episode, but it's we are gonna do the usual. We're not gonna like spoil you or on anything major. We're just gonna discuss the beginning.
Yep. So yeah, that's gonna happen next week. So we will be back then, and you can look forward to that.
Yay!
So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.